And so we begin with History 2601, Louisiana History, for the summer of 2018. And let us begin with an introduction to the course. Louisiana, as a state, has a very rich and varied history. We're a state unlike any other, a people unlike any other, with politics unlike any other. Then we'll look at the Louisiana economy, certain basic facts about Louisiana, and then Louisiana's geography. Indeed, we are a state unlike any other. We're very politically colorful, more colorful than most states politically, although other states do match us from time to time in the colorfulness of our politicians. We're environmentally rich, incredible wildlife, and great topography to Louisiana. Louisiana is a state either forever catching up or falling behind, it would seem. And we are indelibly influenced by the Mississippi River, the river that flows through it. And we're indelibly influenced by the people who have settled here. Louisiana is a people unlike any other. We're incredibly culturally diverse. We're very ethnically proud and independent. We're religious, and yet we have irreverence about us. We are heavily influenced by tragedy. Our politics are unlike any other. Often we're entertaining. Sometimes we're embarrassing. But we're always interesting. And our politics are forever in need of reform. And there you see in the center of that picture the most colorful of all politicians in Louisiana, or one of the most colorful of all politicians of Louisiana, Huey Pierce Long, the governor of Louisiana from 1928 until 1932, and then United States Senator from 1932 to 1935. Louisiana's economy, often in a constant state of crisis. Now remember, crisis does not always mean a negative thing, but it is always in a state of change. Our economy is largely agrarian. We are an agricultural state with farms. We're heavily influenced by the oil and gas industry. We have a growing dependence upon tourism. We also have a very large military influence. We're generally deficient in outside businesses, and we are undertaxed, and yet in some ways we are overtaxed. Now what you see here are the basic facts about Louisiana. Now these are not things that you have to absolutely know and understand, but there are a few things in here that should be important. We are the 18th state of the Union, admitted April 30th, 1812. We have land area. We also have water area. So our state water area and land area is around 52,000 miles. State capital is Baton Rouge. State flower is the magnolia. Our state bird is the brown pelican, an endangered species. Our largest city is New Orleans, although after Hurricane Katrina, Baton Rouge passed it for a while. Our highest point, Mount Driscoll, signified by the brown triangle in the upper left, 535 feet. We've had 61 governors, we've had 11 state constitutions, and many would argue that we're in need of yet another one. There is the Louisiana state flag with the pelican on it and our seal. The motto of the state is Union, Justice, and Confidence, to which many joke, we're very disunified, we lack justice, and confidence is at a premium in this state. Louisiana's geography is as diverse as its people. There is marsh and swamp in the south, forest and uplands in the north. The Delta region is in the east along the Mississippi border. Prairies in the west. We have rivers and bayous throughout the state. The three most important are the Red River, the Atchafalaya River, which flows out of the Mississippi in the Red River, and the Mississippi River, the most pervasive feature of this state, and is in large part responsible for much of the southern topography of the state. Over time, the Mississippi River has changed course and flown through other areas of the state. And you can often see this in looking at the higher regions, the ridges. You see the main channel of the Mississippi River, then you see where it flowed through the Chandeleur Islands and St. Bernard. The white is the Vermilion River, which used to be the Mississippi. That is in blue Bayou Teche, which flows through New Iberia, Bayou Lafourche, which flows through Terrebonne, and Bayou Terrebonne itself, and Bayou Manchac in the purple. But the main course of the river is now shared with the Atchafalaya River, which you see in orange. The Atchafalaya River has captured 40% of the Mississippi River's flow, and only through the Corps of Engineers and massive concrete flood structures does most of the Mississippi River maintain its flow through New Orleans. It is struggling even now to flow through the Atchafalaya and Morgan City. Why is this important? Obviously, the river is so important to New Orleans that to lose the river would mean that all you would have would be a saltwater estuary, and we would need drinking water for New Orleans. It would also mean massive flooding through Morgan City and the Morganza floodway in which many people live. Nature and environmental concerns are always important in human history. What you see here is a satellite view of the Mississippi River, which is on the right side of the picture, the Red River incoming in the upper left, the Atchafalaya River outgoing. And there you see the channels and canals that have been cut, including the old river flows, and you see where the structures are kept to keep the Mississippi River in its channel and not flowing through the Atchafalaya. And this artist rendition shows a more clear view of what is being done to keep the Mississippi River in its present course, while at the same time diverting some water into the Atchafalaya. And these 6 maps show how the river has changed course over time, both through nature, but also through human manipulation. As you see, Henry Shreve, the famous steamboat captain after whom Shreveport was named, made a cut to narrow the river and keep it from bending and switching back like it did. And these are the massive concrete dams and flood control structures that is called colloquially Old Man River, but they're officially called the Old River Control Structures. One of the biggest problems we have in Louisiana is coastal erosion. However, because 40% of the Mississippi River's flow has been diverted down through the Atchafalaya, from 1984 and through 2016, the Atchafalaya has begun to build a delta, actually 2 deltas, down at the mouth of the Atchafalaya, south of Morgan City and south of Patterson, Louisiana. And so you can see over time that the river is once again beginning to build up that incredibly important saltwater marsh that is important in storm surge protection, but also in maintaining the land of the state.